Namaskaram, Sadhguru. There is a lot of debate about immigrants in the United States right now. What is the solution for this?
America is a land of immigrants, all right? Even today, there's a big influx. If you open up your walls and gates, I think in 3 months' time, you will have 1 billion population, okay? So migration is a huge issue. If 1.6 billion people start migrating in the next 8 to 10 years, that's supposed to happen, it's already happening, just imagine which city will be livable in the world. Just imagine tomorrow morning if there are 20 million people extra in Los Angeles, can you build housing for them? Can you provide basic services to them? Can you maintain education for them, healthcare for them? Nothing is possible. Even in a country of this level of affluence, it will not be possible to build that. When people migrate, so you must understand this. Right now, between Africa and United States, at Spain, Italy, all these places, every year thousands of people are drowning in the waters, they are not reported. Media will not report that. Nobody wants to report that because they're unwanted people. But some deaths will be reported. Deaths are reported. Is anybody capable of reporting the human suffering of leaving their homeland, dragging their women and children and going somewhere? That suffering, can anybody report ever, I'm asking? Is death the only thing that matters? Human suffering matters, isn't it? Human suffering cannot be reported by news media. Only if deaths happen, they will say 100 people died, 200 people died, but that is not the real thing. Those thousands of people who left their homelands where they have lived forever and coming and desperately looking here and there, losing their wives and children and husbands and searching here and there, this is not a small thing. Migration, unplanned migration is a very cruel process. And it's not in one country, it's happening all across. So people just landing up in strange spaces without knowing what it is, especially for women and children. It is a horror story. 1 or 2 generations go through real horror story. So why are people migrating? All kinds of reasons are given, but I'll ask you a simple question. If you had a piece of land and the soil is rich, would you leave that land and go? If you had trees on the land, would you leave it and go? You can easily survive there, at least subsistence farming will happen. Your nourishment will happen even if you don't make money. People will not leave that and go. Right now, that is in question. Basic nourishment is in question. So in the last 40 years, we have taken out nearly 37% of the world's topsoil out. It doesn't exist anymore. We've eaten it, we've thrown it, we've done something with it, but it's not where it should be. So we have soil for another 80 to 100 crops. What is our plan for tomorrow? By 2035, they're expecting massive food shortages simply because this time, usually it is famines happen because of lack of water. But today we have the capacity to transport water through pipelines and canals. But this time it's going to happen because of lack of soil. They're calling this as soil extinction. You've heard of dinosaurs going extinct, you have heard of dodos going extinct, but this is soil extinction is what we are looking at. But ecologically, at least if the soil is rich, people will stay on the land. They will not leave it and go somewhere. There are other problems. Right now, people tell me 30 cities on the planet have 72% of the world's investment. With this kind of disproportionate investment, obviously people will all pile up in one place. This needs to spread. If investment has to spread, who will risk spreading their investment to a place which is harder to do business? You have to create a fund which will allow a little more easy money. If you want easy money, you must invest it in impoverished societies. So we are looking at this in a big way, trying to work with the United Nations and the large businesses and to set up a trust where businesses will be given soft loans for long gestation period, 12, 15 years, so that you have time to go there, train the people, create talent and create a business and create livelihood there so that people don't have to go away. What kind of business? Well, businesses can decide what kind depending on the terrain, people, the nature of everything else that is their ecosystem. But if we don't do this now, that if we don't spread the world's investment into various areas, you will see when one segment of population is living with so much comfort and well-being, another segment has nothing, you cannot control it. All these years you controlled it because there was no transportation, you understand? Now everybody has transportation. When 1.5 billion people start moving, not one wall, people will try to build walls everywhere. And wall is a solution only till the tide is of a certain level. When the tide increases, it'll fall over the wall. One way or the other they will come in, it doesn't matter what kind of barriers you put up, in the next 10 years' time, they will come anyway unless you put investments in various places and create livelihoods. The businesses have to be structured like this. Your ambition, whatever it is, I want you to understand this. You will realize this as you go with your life, but if you realize early, it's better. In terms of activity, whatever activity we perform in the world, how deeply we touch another life is the most profound satisfaction of activity. That's the purpose of activity, really. Do you want to write a book that nobody wants to read? No. Do you want to cook something that nobody wants to eat? Do you want to build a building where nobody wants to live? When you do something, you want it to touch somebody's life. So if this is the thing, you must think on these terms. How to impact maximum number of lives and where can we do it? If we don't create this opportunity and allow migrations to happen, you will see terrible things happening. This is going to scale up in a tremendous way if we don't spread investment, if we don't spread businesses into societies which are stuck in poverty right now.